What's up? This is Lavel D. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I just wanted to talk to you guys today about some things going on in our world here here in Louisville, Kentucky. The world knows, we're experiencing the Black Lives Matter protests across the United States of America. Also, we just recently experienced the death of George Floyd. There's been protests and demonstrations all across the United States of America. Here in Louisville, Kentucky, we experienced the death of Breonna Taylor. Our city is currently undergoing major demonstrations and protests every day down at Jefferson Square Park. Across the city of Louisville, protesters, demonstrators, Black Lives Matter people, folks from all across the city are experiencing this mass demonstration and protest showing up in solidarity for Breonna Taylor. There's a lot of violence going on in our communities, whether it be community-based crime, violence. All violence is bad. Violence is a mental and a social issue that is systemic in its root causes that causes violence across America and across the spread across people. Violence disturbs communities, disrupts communities. As we're constantly under this pressure of feeling unsafe, we have to come together to talk about these things because we have trauma. We're experiencing things. We live in our communities. I just want to express that none of these thoughts or views are of my employer. These is all my personal opinions of Vel White and Blu Boi Entertainment, and none of the people that I represent or consult with or work with or who I'm employed with. These are all my opinions and my thoughts that I wanted to share. I'm not normally a person that gets vocal and talks about a lot of stuff, getting on camera, expressing my views and opinions. But this is a time that we can't be silenced, that we can't be quiet, we can't be complicit to everything that's going on. We have to use our voices, our platforms, to stand up, to talk about these issues, to bring them on the forefront, put them in the minds of the people across the world, to show that we don't want to be killed by racist people, by people that don't mean good to black and brown people because of the color of their skin. We are tired of being killed, being affected by violence, being killed in our homes. We, the people, demand respect as for our black selves. We don't want to be feared because of the color of our skin. We don't want to be seen as a threat. We just want to live and be normal people in society. We have been dealing with 400 years of repression since we've been brought to the United States of America. We see this time and time again where people's lives get taken by law enforcement, by white vigilantes, by people who are threatened and don't care and disregard black life. Black people want to be accepted in America. We're not a threat. We just want to live and raise families. Be there for our families. Attain economic mobility and stability like anyone else. We want to live in safe and healthy communities. We want to eat healthy. We want quality health care, quality education, quality jobs, quality pay to take care of our families. We are fighting every day in the streets. Black Lives Matter is not excluding any race. Black Lives Matter means black people's lives matter too. We're not disregarding white people, dogs, cats, Asian people, police. We all know we need police in our communities to make our cities safe and healthy. And we don't need to be threatened by these systems that police and patrol is either though. We want police to be called when there's a burglary, a homicide, a robbery, to feel safe. We need better community policing. We don't want to discard policing and stuff. I know there's a call for defunding the police. Defunding the police does not mean getting all the way to completely 100%, but giving money and profits to other organizations, social organizations, mental health organizations, community-based housing. You give things so people can live a better and have a healthier quality of life. That's what defunding the police means. It doesn't mean taking away and getting rid of and abolishing police. Because we know the police are important in our communities. But at the same time, we need to rethink and reimagine how government handles our communities, how they think about helping the citizenry. Because when you invest in the moral fiber of someone, you give them the opportunity to prevail, to be healthy, to live strong and healthy lives, to provide for their families, to send their kids off to school, to live in better environments, to provide economically. Then they're going to have to rely on a welfare system that takes care of them, and we won't be dependent. We will be independent and be able to take care of ourselves and live just like anyone else. Everyone wants to live the American dream. We're on the eve of the 4th of July. I think we just experienced Juneteenth a while back on June the 19th. It was the blackest holiday African Americans had felt in years. I've never experienced a Juneteenth. I never thought about celebrating Juneteenth until this year, 2020, in the midst of this racial fight for justice in America. It meant so much more to celebrate Juneteenth. But as we celebrate the 4th of July, Independence Day of the United States of America, we are living in a time Black Americans don't have their independence still. Why are we living in this time? Why? So, on the eve of the 4th of July, on June the 3rd, 2020, I'm talking to you today to rethink and reimagine how you view Black people. Love Black people. We are not a threat. We just want to live like you. We don't want to be killed because of the color of our skin. We want to live, thrive, and be successful and provide just like anyone else. We're not discounting lives when we say Black Lives Matter. All lives does matter. But this time we need to pay attention to the Black lives that are being killed by systems and oppression and racism, being killed by slaughter by police and systems that don't mean good for us at all. So we're standing up for the love. It's great to see Black people, white people, Latinas, all peoples of all walks of life, genders, racial identities, gender identities, sexuality, all these things. People are fighting for a cause, coming together, standing up. We're not trying to fear people to say we're taking our country back like American Patriot, 3%ers, or whoever the racial rhetoric we're getting from the White House. We want to be respected and valued just like anyone else. We're not discounting anyone. All people do matter. But Black Lives Matter at this time. It's an important, critical point of our lives. We're seeing so many people getting their lives taken, getting lynched, getting killed, getting shot, getting burned up, getting stabbed because you see us as a threat and don't care about us or whatever you may feel. Police needs to reimagine how they care and interact with society. They need cultural bias training. They need racial sensitivity training. They need to come from the communities that they're serving and policing them. We need to work together. We all need to work together. Government, city, local agencies, federal agencies, community-based agencies, educational agencies, social organizations. Everybody needs to come to the table and say, we care about what's going on. We need to take our communities back. We need to work on this and solve these issues together and problems together and not be insulated and isolated or whatever else and not want to include certain people at the tables. We all got to come to the tables and bring your voice. If you never thought you had a voice, this is the time. I don't even speak up and get passionate about issues. I'm a very shy person. I'm very introverted. I'm not an extrovert. But I can't sit back and be quiet right now. Nobody can. We cannot remain silent. If you're silent, you're complicit to what's going on. And this is the time not to be silent. We can't sit this out. Louisville, Kentucky hasn't experienced the mass demonstrations and protests since 1968, when the Parkland riots occurred, for the very same issues of policing in communities and then treating black and brown people in discriminatory. We can't keep coming and revisiting this every 50 years. We need to end this right now. We need to come together and show that we can work and live safe and healthy lives, being black in our skin and not being felt threatened, and to live in a non-segregated city. Louisville, Kentucky is one of the most segregated cities in the city. We experienced the 9th Street divide, where if you live in the East End, you have 3 times the income of a person living in the West End of Louisville, Kentucky. I address these issues with all my documentaries, societal issues, documentaries, projects. I've been working on these issues since I was 14 years old, trying to educate folks with my documentaries, More Than Bricks and Mortar, The Shepherd Square Story, Smoketown, A New Beginning, Young Black Voter from Hitting Licks to Casting Vows, One Man Story, my personal journey to activism and passion, working with Master P and Christopher 2X and We Got Hood to Hood, a 2-year journey, talking about violence and incarceration and the effects it has on inner city youth, the Beach of Terror story. I've been working on these documentaries to highlight these issues, the systemic oppression, to talk about what these low-income communities face. My thoughts and opinions are not of anybody that I represented and contracted with. I work for city government, but these are not my thoughts or views. These are my personal thoughts and views. Those are not the thoughts of my employer. I'm telling you right now, I deplore you, all of you guys watching this video today, to stand up, to realize your voice, to use it for something, to come together. We can't sit on the sidelines. We got to change it right now, today, June 3rd, 2020. We can change this if we work together. I applaud all my brothers and sisters out there protesting and demonstration. It's like a movement like no other. We can't have no infighting going on with different factions and people trying to have ownership of the work. Everybody's a part of the work. There's no one leader. We're all leaders. We all got to be providing our thoughts and input to come together, to stand up, to say we could change this and make it better for our young brothers and sisters, make it better for our kids. I have a daughter, Oakland. She's 2 years old. I have a son, Brave. He's 4 months. I want a better world for them. I don't want to experience poverty like I did when I was growing up. I want to change that. I want to create a paradigm shift. We all can create a paradigm shift if we do it. We must stand up and rise up. I love all you brothers and sisters. Blu Boi Ent, thank y'all. I love y'all. Black Lives Matter. We all matter. We got to come together. We're not excluding anyone. We want everyone to know that Black Lives Matter, not to discount our lives. We're not discrediting anybody else. We just want you to know Black lives does matter too. And don't discount that. For anybody who don't like that, I don't care. Come talk to me. Bye.